St. James Ave has seen its fair share of accidents. In fact, there's been 2 there in the last 2 days, including a crash today, and crews are still at the crash site.
22 News reporter Haley Crumblehome joins us live in Springfield. Haley, you spoke with multiple homeowners who have had their houses hit by cars.
Today, this section of St. James saw its second accident in 2 days. And even though that accident happened this afternoon, you can see if I step out here that there are still multiple trucks from the power company and police cruisers. That's because in addition to crashing into a man's garage, that driver managed to take down a light pole and a few power lines with it.
Came home and it was chaos.
Philip Welch came home to find a truck crashed into his garage.
I guess the guy took out a car, 2 poles, and then came across here and went through here.
The Springfield Fire Department said the driver wasn't breathing when he was pulled from the car and had to be rushed to the hospital. It happened just a day after another accident flipped a car just a few hundred feet away and required the replacement of this telephone pole. For Welch, finding a car slammed into his garage might be frustrating, but it's not surprising.
Car hit that house there. House here was hit 3 times.
That's right, 3 times. And Mark Koziel has the repairs to prove it.
First time was about $6,000 worth of damage. The second time was $40,000 when the car ended up in my kitchen. The third time when they hit this, that was 38 grand.
And he's been seeing the damage and deaths near the intersection of Corona and St. James for decades.
I grew up here. This telephone pole's probably been taken down 8 times. That one across the street's got to be taken down 5 times. There used to be big trees out in the front of this house. People died on those trees.
Despite a 30-mile-per-hour speed limit, residents seem to agree speeding is the main issue. And for pedestrians like Mariah Daniels, who walks her kids down the street, it's hard not to worry.
Scary to know that when you do live here and you have children, you never know what can happen, because it comes out of the blue. We never expect it.
Residents said a curve on the street just recently had new guardrails installed, a barrier between the road and several houses. They said police regularly set up to catch speeders, but some would like the city to take other steps.
Can't have to constantly have the police out here to do speed traps to keep the speed down. I think the city could come up with a better solution, slow people down here. How many speed traps can you put here?
It's a nightmare corner. It's just, for whatever reason, it's a nightmare corner. I don't know what they can do. But people think it's a raceway. You know, as long as people don't get hurt, you know, but people get hurt out here. People get hurt out here.
Now, this cruiser has been out here most of the day, and when I was here earlier, even with its lights on, people were still speeding by. Now, I reached out to the DPW to find out if any new ideas were going to be tested out here on St. James to try and curb some of the speeding. We will let you know as soon as they get back to us. Live in Springfield, Haley Crumblehome, 22 News.